Today we are going to try and build Disneyland in The Sims 4, and we're going to try and make it functional. It might be tricky since I've never been to Disneyland, but I have eaten every Disneyland vlog I've ever seen posted by YouTubers since I was like 14. So yes, I do think that makes me expertly qualified for this job today. By the way, I wanted to tell you guys that there is a spring sale going on the EA app, and a lot of Sims packs are discounted right now up to like 50% off and more. So if you do not want to spend the entire price, now is the time. I believe it's going until April 1st. And since I am an EA partner in the EA Creator Network, you can use my code SYDMAC at checkout on the EA app or on thesims.com, and I'll earn a small commission off your purchase. So we're going to be building here in Magnolia Blossom. This is the park that comes with Willow Creek, the base game world in The Sims 4. And okay, here's my plan. Before we build a shell, we're going to be building a bunch of businesses today, but I may make them half and half so we could have a business on the bottom and actual homes up top. But each business I want to be inspired by a different Disney princess. I have a ton of ideas for this, but one I really wanted to include was a restaurant for Tiana. Obviously, Tiana's lifetime goal was to open up a restaurant, which girl, she did. But apparently there is actually a real life Tiana's Palace restaurant at Disneyland, which is so fun. I wonder if it's any good. So I'm going to take this in sections. We're going to do the middle part of the building first. Again, I'm going to be basing off of the one in real life, not the one in the movie. And I think I'm going to set this lot to residential just because, again, I want Sims to live here. And then I'll just go in and get Sims to open up the business later on. But for now, we're going to work on the middle portion. I'm using this base game wallpaper, and there's actually a balcony that comes out at the front. There are green windows, so I'm going to set my color filter to green. These could be nice. These are from For Rent. Maybe I'll use these on the other portion of the building. I was seeing stained glass on the actual picture. So what if we tried these windows? These are from Businesses and Hobbies. I may need to make this a tiny bit bigger, and then we could get a door right in the middle like this. Strangerville does have a darker version. Actually, I feel like maybe I prefer this one, and we'll add green trim going around this. And then for the bottom floor, there's a different door from Strangerville, but it's like the same vibe, so we're gonna add that downstairs. I'll bring these same windows down, and one reason why I wanted to build this is because it is covered in fairy lights. They look so pretty, so I'm gonna use the new ones from Businesses and Hobbies. I love these because they just attach right onto the wall. I don't have to raise them up. I can just easily size them up and place them where I want them to be. But can I be honest for a second? I don't know if these are my favorite fairy lights in the game. I know, maybe controversial opinion. I like them better when they're sized up, but my personal favorite are still these ones. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. These are from the Little Campers kit. It's like very specific, I guess. Like, I think I just like the way the light bulb looks. I don't know, but we're gonna use these. I'm gonna raise them up and just stick them underneath the trim there. And then I was also seeing them under the balcony. So again, I'm just gonna raise these up. And side note, I am curious if you guys have been to Disneyland. Bonus points if you've been to this restaurant. I need to know how it was. I specifically want to know about the food. My favorite videos to watch used to be like when YouTubers would go to Disneyland and literally just eat all the food. And like, I low-key kind of wondered if they were lying. Like, everyone usually says the food is really good. Like, are we exaggerating? I genuinely have no idea. So please let me know if you've been. Along the side here, I'm gonna go in with these vines from Cottage Living. I'm gonna put them along both sides. And then I think I'll also add the horizontal ones going along the side like this. And then if we open up debug and search for it in Cottage Living, we'll find these vines. I love using these on the corners of my houses. I just use Alt on my keyboard and kind of like shove them in until they're not quite peeking through the wall, but they're attaching right onto it. It just adds a little more texture onto the bottom. Let's find a neon sign. First thing I pictured was this one. This is from the Cozy Kitsch kit. Is she fancy enough though? Comfy Gamer also has a really nice one. I may make this half wall a little bit taller just so that sits on there a little bit nicer. Okay, and then before I go off on the side portions of this, there is a middle part. So I'm just gonna build a square. We'll add a hipped roof piece on top, and I think I might just carve that out. We'll add some base game trim. Does that look weird? I'm only adding that because on her actual restaurant and on the one at Disneyland, she has like smokestacks or something coming out the sides. Like, right? They kind of look like this. And then there's a sign on top, and I don't know what we're gonna do for that. There's also sort of like a crown peeking out of the tops of the smokestacks. So there are these debug statues from Jungle Adventure. Would this look crazy if I raise these up and stick them inside? No, wait, it's kind of cute. I'm gonna change this roof trim. I'm gonna add little windows up here, and I'm gonna try and hide this a little better. And we just need a sign. There is something from Get Famous. Oh, this item could have worked too. Okay, these are fancy little balcony pieces from Get Famous. I think I'm gonna just stick these around, maybe more so just so I don't forget to use them. But this is the sign that I was thinking about. So I think I might size this up or even just raise it on top of the roof. Oh, and I wanted to find some of this wall decor from Seasons for the balcony. We can use this one. I'll just raise it up and we'll attach it right onto the fence. Okay, cute. So far, so good. This is literally only like half of this restaurant. There's another portion that comes out to the side like this. It's like a yellowy orange color. So I think I'm gonna try this from My Wedding Stories. I'm just gonna keep roofing this portion with half walls. So we'll use a smaller height for this. This is where we can use those dark green shutters that I was talking about from For Rent. We could get crazy and add another window. And then on this side, I want to add columns. And then I also wanted to add some awnings. So there's that side. And then since this is on the end, all the other businesses are going to be lined up in like a townhouse style, but this one here will be on the end. So I think it would look nice and it's accurate if we polish it off with like a nice diagonal piece over here. Said no one ever in The Sims 4. I think like 2 videos ago, I was just hating on the diagonals in The Sims 4, but listen, it's gonna be worth it, okay? We'll bring the same fence that we've been using. I might actually change it up on this side and use the fence to roof it. And we could actually use a different trim along the tops here too. And then we can bring the same windows. I'll use the same doors that I was using over here. We're also gonna bring in these columns. These ones, by the way, are from the Businesses and Hobbies pack. Then we can add the awnings on this side as well. I don't like this gap over here between my awnings. So we're just gonna cover it, pretend it doesn't exist. We're just gonna add this little lamppost right in between. And then I'm sorry, you know the drill. I won't put them everywhere, okay? Just most places. I'm also taking these string lights all the way along as well. And okay, here we go. We are gonna have to add some outdoor dining space. Rude. Oh, I wish we could edit worlds in The Sims 4. Like, really? Whatever. Okay, we're gonna go in with this base game flooring, but then we can jazz it up a little bit, add this other base game flooring along the edges. It's also gonna provide some separation from the other businesses. Then we can add some green tables outside. I'm gonna add 6 of them. I'll also add these dark green chairs. These are from Horse Ranch. And then I noticed in the photo, there are these massive yellow awnings and they're framing the entire outdoor patio space. So I think I'm gonna add some of these big yellow umbrellas. A little shade is good for you in every form. And then here's my dilemma with this restaurant. We have The Sims 4 Dine Out, and that is how you run restaurants in The Sims 4 currently. But the problem here is I couldn't run this as a dine out restaurant with that pack and open it up with Businesses and Hobbies. You really get one or the other. So I'm going in and placing these host stations, which if I open this under a small business lot type, these will not actually be functional. They're just for show. But what we can do is go ahead and save this lot how it is right now. And then I'll save this lot to my library how it is as just like the single restaurant. I'll later change this lot type, like only Tiana's restaurant, over to restaurant. And then once I add all the other things that you need to make a functional restaurant on the interior, then it can actually function with Dine Out. What will probably happen if I open this as a small business is you can set your activities to eat. So I'm gonna probably end up making the interior for this like buffet style. And that way Sims will still eat out here. It'll look like a restaurant, but it won't function with like servers and hosts and things like that with Dine Out. Does this make sense? I'm basically saving this separately as a restaurant and then adding it on as a small business. I think that makes sense. Those who get it, help those who are lost in the comments. It's like a school. Grab a book, buddy, everyone. Okay, so I think our Tiana's restaurant portion is complete. Now we're ready to move on to the next part. And for this one, I want to build a bookstore / library for Belle. From Beauty and the Beast, obviously, she's super into books and learning and reading. So this Belle-inspired bookstore can be maybe in like a Tudor style. Like I want it to be a little older looking, similar to her own village. And I think I might actually roof this part. So I'll take this and bring it all the way to the back. And I might double it up like this. If this doesn't look absolutely ridiculous at the front, and then we can't just leave it like that, we would probably bring in another roof piece too and kind of just bring it up like that. This is very specific specific and random, but I have a song stuck in my head. And the way my brain works is like when I get a song stuck in my head, it is on loop like all day, maybe for weeks straight. Like it's just a repeat of the same song over and over and over and over again. And I have been rewatching Naruto recently. Again, it's literally my favorite show. I've rewatched it so many times. But the song that I have looping in my head is the sad music from Naruto over and over and over. I'm not even sad. I'm in a great mood actually. Or I was until this started not wanting to clip properly. So yeah, if anyone has any tips for getting that out or refiguring your entire brain, let me know. In the meantime though, me and my sad Naruto brain have gone ahead and made a really cute book entry. I'm gonna add vines on the inside of it too, and a bench here would be adorable. And I think books here combined with roses, like a combined little flower shop, bookshop thing could be adorable. So I'm gonna add these in. We are onto something. Now that we started with these lights, we're not going to stop. And I need a sign. Ooh, there's a bookstore sign. This is perfect. I can put it right in the middle. I'm bringing more vines up the sides. We'll bring out the flooring. I want to add like a little seating area here. It could be a sunken seating spot, and I'll lower this platform down and I'll add some stairs. This could be a garden reading spot. I'll add like grass flooring underneath. By the way, this is going to be a two-parter. I can tell you right now, this is going to be big, which is fun because if you have any ideas for the interior, let me know. Anything you want to see. That includes the little apartments we're going to do upstairs as well. So let me know. Also, if we're done the exterior and there's something you want me to add, I love when we can all participate. So let me know. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and find some yellow couches or something for outside. I'll add a wood table. They already have bookshelves galore back there. We'll add a rose on the table, and I'm going to try and find a jar to put it in. I swear there is a flower in a jar somewhere in this game, but with debug open, I guarantee I'll find some kind of glass container. I found one. Okay, let's put it in there. It's not perfect, but it'll work. There's also this rug that has the floral pattern on it. I think I'll put that underneath, and then we can go in and add these fairy lights inside. Okay, take it back. I like these lights, specifically the horizontal ones. They're so easy to apply. These ones don't go down where they were supposed to, and the other ones stuck right on there. And okay, she's not as grand as Tiana's restaurant. We definitely went a little overboard with that, but for now we have the Beauty and the Beast bookstore. I was debating adding this clock tower in here somewhere. I don't know if it's too big though. And then I also just added this trellis from Get Together right over top of the door. But yeah, this will be our Belle inspired bookstore slash library slash flower shop. As a last minute addition, I'm just adding these roses from Romantic Garden, and I'm just squeezing them into the wall so we don't get that wooden part. I'm also going to just start to add some landscaping around a little bit. I'm going to size up some of these trees in the back just so we've got a bit of a vibe going. And next, let's move on to our next business. And obviously, if we're doing Disney, we're gonna need to build a hotel. So what if we build a Sleeping Beauty inspired hotel? I think it would look good if we started going the other way with these, like just started bringing them around the side. I'm just coming inside here to make sure this will be big enough if we do it. They don't have to be big hotel rooms. With stairs in there, we could have some single bed ones. This one probably won't get an apartment, obviously, just because the hotel will take up the entire thing. But how are we gonna roof this one? I feel like the easiest bet will be with a half wall. I do want to cover up this roofing though, so like maybe I'll build a tower. Is Sleeping Beauty in a tower? Like, yeah, right? I don't want it to be too big because I've got some plans for the back. I'm really just trying to hide the roofing issue back there. Maybe if we add a more subtle trim, then it won't peek through. All right. I don't know how much I like that though, and I don't want to stray too far from the color scheme we have going. Does one of these help? She may just be a work in progress. We might need a second to arrive at our vision here. Okay, let me just start by adding in the windows. I'm gonna keep using the same ones that we have been using from Business and Hobbies. I hate that name so much. We need like a code word. Every time I say it, which is often because I always tell you guys which pack I'm using, I get a little annoyed. I think we could be getting somewhere. Like we'll keep bringing our vines and our fairy lights. I'm dying to know what this is gonna look like at night with everything lit up. I'll go in and add the string lights. We'll bring over our flooring, and maybe I'll bring this like through this way. I'm gonna hold Control F on my keyboard. That's how you change the floor flooring to a triangle so you can do diagonal pieces. Then I'm just gonna go along this way, cover in the flooring like this. The tower in the back is throwing me off a little, but we could go in with some of these stone archways. These are actually windows, they're from base game. Do we add glass roof paint? Do we make her smaller? Do we ditch it all together and just do something like this? I don't particularly hate that up there, but I'm probably gonna sleep on it. I'm probably gonna change it. Is there a hotel sign anywhere or anything that could pass as one? I guess for now I could just use one of these. Oh wait, there is a sleeping sign. Like this is when it's closed, and then when the business is open, the eye is open. Regardless, I did think it would be nice here if we had little tables with some chairs underneath. These ones have flowers on the back from my wedding stories. And then also I know she has some little fairies and they like help her out. So I'm gonna add some of these around. These are orbs from Realm of Magic Debug. I always love adding these around my like whimsical builds. I don't know if we're gonna get the colors exactly right, but as long as we've got 3 of these flying around, I think that'll look cute. Okay, for now, this is gonna be our Sleeping Beauty hotel, subject to change. Let's move on to the final one we're gonna do before I add in my final ideas for this exterior. I wanna build a shoe shop in the back for Cinderella. So I'm just gonna bring this all the way to the front. I'll bring my trim and the columns, and I wanted the outside of this to be blue. So maybe we'll do some blue brick. We could pull it together with some fencing on the top, and we maybe bring back some of the shutters. I do want at least one full glass window here though, because since it's a shop, I want people to be able to see inside. So let's get rid of the shutters on the bottom floor, and then I'll replace it with these from Eco Lifestyle. I feel like hers has to be super magical looking, so I'm gonna use this door from Get to Work. We can make it look a little cohesive with these from Get Together again. I'll also bring through some of the vines. Yes, I found a shoe sign. I had no idea this existed. I found this in Discover University. Oh, there's a few signs in here actually. So I want it to be a shoe shop slash clothing store because we're not gonna be able to fill this up with just shoes in The Sims 4. I feel like this one just has to be covered in the starlight. Ooh, if we could find some pumpkins out here to make a carriage, that would be adorable. That would be literally so hard to pull off though, but we do have a pumpkin. I could size this up. I think it'll look so out of place. No, I'm not gonna do it. We'll just add a couple white pumpkins outside here. We'll keep bringing this flooring around. I'm gonna start bringing it along the back. We're changing this fence. Now I really just have to finish off some of this flooring. I need to add probably a strip of landscaping down the center. I might just add a little strip of these trees right here. Journey to Bed 2 has these rocks we could use around as landscaping. We could also use some of this around Belle's seating area. I'm also gonna add some more of these plants in here. We can add some hedges lining with flowers. This bench from Lovestruck gives off a Disney vibe to me, so I'm just gonna place these outside. So far, this is what we have for our businesses. All of our shops here are complete on the outside. Our restaurant, bookstore, hotel, and we have our clothing store. We're gonna do the interiors in part 2, but before we finish off, we cannot make a Disneyland without rides. We unfortunately do not have an amusement park expansion pack in The Sims 4, so we are gonna have to cheat this a little bit. What we do have is High School Years Debug. So opening up the debug menu, I have bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects turned on, and we're gonna scroll until we find the Ferris wheel. This is what we're looking for. I'm gonna place this in the back. I'm gonna move my trees around a little bit, and I'll just lay this out so we could make our entry coming this way. There's another ride that comes with High School Years that has like the hearts on it. I'm going to add that in as well. I'll just adjust my flooring so we can make a path coming out like this. We can fill the rest in with landscaping. And here's the thing, this is gonna be half functional, half not. I'll show you guys at the end of this when I go into live mode, but even though these are debug items, they are gonna be completely functional if you control your Sims to go in there yourself, which means Sims that visit this lot will be able to go on the ride, and you could also ride it with other people. So like other people on the lot, like other customers, I could get Sims to ride the rides with me. Both of them will work. All of the debug rides from High School Years, like at the boardwalk, will work from debug if you place them. However, when we place the ticket kiosks, which I'm gonna do right now, right at the front, Sims will not be able to actually come here and then pay the ticket and then go on the rides. It just won't work like that because obviously they're debug items. They're not meant to be used in this way, but this is gonna be the closest thing we can get to having like a functional amusement park. And the final thing I'm gonna do, just because I have space back here to do it, I'm gonna build a space for vendors. This again will be functional. You just have to hire someone to tend the stalls. I'm gonna place a bunch of them around that match our color scheme. So I'm just placing a bunch of these shops all around. Then we'll add some picnic tables for seating. So our Disney World in The Sims 4 is all complete. Look at the Ferris wheel going. It's so cool. I've also moved the Goth family onto this lot. So now they own this. We're gonna go down here and register this as a small business. This is gonna be Disneyland, not World. I know there's a difference. Activities, I'll probably change this up as we go, but I'm adding browse and buy items. We can add sleep for the hotel, read for the bookstore. We'll add eat, and this is where go on rides would have been so cool. Trust me, I looked. There are other games we can maybe add, but for now, this is what we'll leave it as. We've got our entrance fee. I'm gonna open it up even though nothing is furnished yet. We'll furnish that in the next video, but I just want to make sure no one's gonna ride this. And let me show you guys how it works. Oh, you could woohoo on there. I forgot about that. Scandal. Okay, but let's do ride with. Let's ride it with Mortimer. So there they are going over, just showing you that this is going to be functional for your household and for other Sims if you're controlling them visiting the lot. I wish you could see them like on the actual ride. I feel like that would be so funny. But same as this over here, we could do romantic ride. We've got all of our vendors over here. All I would have to do is hire them. And see, now we've got some of our vendors showing up for the food area. And now that we have actual customers showing up on the lot, we can ride this with them. So like you could bring them on the rides. I just really doubt they're gonna go on there themselves. And if you were wondering, this is what it looks like, all in different lighting. Look at all the lights. It looks so cool at nighttime. Oh, I'm excited about this. Okay, so we will furnish the interiors in the next video. Let me know if you have any ideas. And if you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.